I'm Randy McAbee, Tackle Warehouse Pro, and we're out here at Lake Lopez today. And what we're going to be doing is we're in the dead of summer, and we're going to concentrate on these main lake points. The fish have already moved out. We're going to concentrate on these main lake points, and we're going to be fishing a jig. The points I like to concentrate on, you know, I'll skip through all the walls and I'll concentrate on these long sloping points. And in the morning they're typically up on top. In the afternoon they'll move out off the sides. And if you can find a point that's got a transition that goes from rock to gravel, it's a plus. Those are the ones I really like to key in on. The jig we're using today, it's a Skinny Bear 1/2 ounce elite football head jig. They make tons and tons of colors. I don't fish a jig a ton, so I'm really simple on my colors. Brown and purple is probably one of the most popular. I like to stick with a brown, watermelon color, watermelon red. If they're going to eat a jig, they're probably going to eat that color for me. Anyways, it's probably more of a preference. In the summertime, the reason these fish are out on these main lakes is the water temperatures, you know, 73 to 78 degrees, depending on, you know, what time of day it is. And the bait fish, they're not really back there in the pockets where it's real warm, so they'll move out, and the fish obviously have to follow them out on these points to feed. So the depth I'm looking for, you know, early in the morning I'll fish right up on the bank because the fish will push the bait right up on the bank. But as it goes on, I like to concentrate. I'll put my boat in 30 to 40 foot, and I'll cast across these points up into like 15 foot and work it out to about 25. And then once I figure out where the fish are positioned on those points, then I can, you know, kind of put a pattern together and start running from point to point and try to put something together throughout the day. The rod to fish one of these jigs, you know, a 7-foot medium action is sufficient. The rod I like to use is a Dobbins 734. It's a 7'3" rod, so I can pick up a little bit more line if I get bit at the top of when I'm pulling it up. And it's a medium action rod. It's a great rod. The line I like to use, I use 12-pound Gamma fluorocarbon. It's a low stretch line, so when I'm fishing that deeper water, I can feel the bites a lot better. And you know, the heavier line you go, the slower your jig's gonna fall. So I like to stay around that 12-pound. 10-pound gets a little weak as far as, you know, you're beating it around in the rocks a lot. So a lot of times you'll set the hook and break a fish off. And then the reels, it's there's one, a good one. Oh! We better not do that. He's a little bigger than I thought. There we go. Jig fishing in summertime. So that fish there came in 20 foot of water. And it was he actually hit it on the fall. When I pulled the rod tip up, and when the jig was falling, I felt him thump it. So that gives me a clue as to maybe where these fish are positioned, and I can start putting a pattern together, and I can run to the next point. And I know I'm going to concentrate in 20 foot of water, and they don't have a problem eating the jig when you fish it a little faster. So now I can cover more water throughout the day. The reel I like to use, it's a Daiwa Zillion. And I like high-speed reels for the simple fact is my rod tip was high on that fish, and I felt him thump it. One turn of the handle, and I'm down in a hook set position, so I can pick up more line with a faster reel. Where with the slower reel, you know, I had to crank it a couple times, and maybe that fish spits the jig before I get a hook in it. So the high-speed reels to me are very important. So remember, next time you're out on the water in the middle of the summer, don't forget that jig pattern. Grab yourself a Skinny Bear 1/2 ounce jig, tip it with your favorite craw. In my case, I use a Berkeley Chigger craw. Get yourself a good medium action 7 foot, 7.5 foot rod. I got a 734 Dobbins casting rod, some good 12-pound fluorocarbon. In my case, I use 12-pound Gamma, and a high-speed reel, 7-to-1 Daiwa Zillion, and go out and cover a lot of water. Use this pattern and you can be productive in catching fish in the middle of the summertime.